guys, we are John and Cassie Shadon from Orlando, Florida, and this is Vertical, the worship community.
We were asked today to talk about some of our experiences in worship leading and worshiping in a smaller setting, like church plants or daughter works, home missions, things like that. We have a little bit of experience in that area, not a whole lot. I'm sure there's other people that have more experience, but we got married a couple of years ago now, and we started our marriage going directly into worship leading at a church plant of about 4 or 5 people. And we wanted to share some of our experiences and give some encouragement to those people out there who might find themselves in a similar situation, because it really is a truly humbling experience, and God honors that.
What we're going to talk about is the kind of songs that maybe are a good idea to do on a regular basis. We found it best to do songs that are fairly easy and maybe songs that we have done previously. And I don't think there's anything wrong with doing new songs, but if you do, I think it's important that, especially for like a church plant with us, we had a lot of people who didn't really have a background in church, so when we do songs that are easy to catch up or catch on with, like repetitive or things that you can see where it's going, it's easier for them to sing along. Unlike songs that are like really wordy or don't repeat much, it's really hard for the members to sing along instead of just listening and watching. So it's a lot easier to sing along with us when it's an easier song or something they've heard us do before.
Absolutely. Another big point that we found out really quickly was it was important to really know the songs that you are worshiping with. You need to have all the words memorized, which is like something that I really struggled to this day with. I have to have them like all written out, but when there's so few people in a little congregation, all eyes are kind of on you, and it's important to try and focus as much as you can on sticking to worshiping, rather than like constantly looking at an iPad or at something that's written down to remind you. If you can practice that craft and perfect it, it's gonna really help you a ton. That being said, you're not always going to be able to avoid kind of that awkwardness in a smaller setting, and that's okay. Like you just kind of have to accept that there might be some dead space, there might be a little bit of awkwardness there, and try to fill that as much as you can. You know, exalt God, worship in between the songs. You know, you don't have to have music to be worshiping, and it's not comfortable. Like for you, it's just not going to be a comfortable setting for the most part. I mean, if it is for you, then you and I need to have a talk, and you can show me how to do that, and you can do a little video for me. But in our experience, I found that you just kind of have to just forget about trying to not be awkward and just like let God use you even in that. So that's another big point that we found out along the way.
The last thing that we want to talk about is just to kind of be encouraged. I mean, sometimes to have nothing, well, it seems like nothing. Like for us, it was just us and a guitar, and it might be just vocals, or I know people who use a background track or whatever, just, you know, a soundtrack. And I think that if you do have a full band, that's awesome, and you should use every utility you have to give God praise. But if it is just you and a guitar, you just need to remember in that setting, Matthew 18:20, where 2 or 3 are gathered in His name. We use that verse all the time, like at a church plant, you know, where just us 5 are in this room. God, we're here in His name. He's going to be with us. And I think that if you just remember, even though it's just me, just this guitar, like, we know you're going to be pleased with our worship, and you're going to come meet us here if we're here in your name. If that's where you're at in your ministry, God can move just as much as if you have a really awesome, huge, talented band. So just be encouraged, and I hope somebody learned something and is encouraged from this video.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Vertical Worship.